A police officer thought it was just another quiet patrol until a dog ran into the road and began begging on two legs. Confused, the officer followed, only to discover something that shocked him to his core. What unfolded next became one of the most unbelievable rescues ever witnessed. The afternoon sun baked the quiet country road as Officer Ryan steered his patrol car down the dusty stretch. But fate had other plans. From the corner of his eye, Ryan noticed movement. A lean, tan-colored dog sprinted into the middle of the road, forcing him to slam on the brakes. The car skidded to a halt, gravel crunching beneath the tires. Heart pounding, Ryan stepped out, expecting the dog to run away, but it didn't. Instead, the dog rose on its hind legs, front paws lifted like a beggar, eyes wide with desperation. It barked once, sharply, then whined, lowering itself back down. To Ryan's astonishment, it pawed at his boots before darting a few steps away, then turning back, as if pleading with him to follow. Ryan frowned, unsure if he should laugh or be concerned. He had seen stray dogs before, but never one acting with such clear intent. The dog barked again, loud and urgent, then circled his feet before bolting a few yards down the road. It stopped suddenly, glancing back at him, ears perked and tail stiff. Something in the dog's eyes made Ryan pause. They weren't the wild, wary eyes of a stray scavenging for food. These were desperate, almost human, pleading. The animal whined, pacing in place, before repeating the same pattern. A short run forward, a look back. Another bark that Ryan's instincts told him this was no ordinary encounter. He followed cautiously, at first just a few steps. The dog wagged its tail briefly, then darted forward again, leading him like a guide. Ryan realized the animal wasn't trying to escape. It was trying to show him something. The officer glanced back at his cruiser, torn between duty and curiosity. But the dog's persistence was impossible to ignore. With a sigh, he muttered, "All right, buddy, lead the way." And so, Ryan began following the strangest guide he had ever encountered. Unaware of the shocking discovery waiting just ahead, the dog darted down the dirt road with quick, purposeful strides, glancing back every few seconds to make sure Ryan was still behind. Its paws kicked up small clouds of dust as the officer followed, first on foot, then slowly moving his cruiser forward when the path widened. Ryan's curiosity deepened with each turn. The animal wasn't wandering aimlessly. It was determined, pulling him farther from the main road. Soon, the houses thinned out, replaced by thick patches of overgrown grass and scattered trees. The hum of the city faded, leaving behind the sound of rustling leaves and the dog's sharp barks echoing through the air. As he drove farther, a knot of unease twisted in Ryan's stomach. His training told him that odd situations often led to dangerous ones. Yet, something about this loyal creature's urgency kept him going. He couldn't bring himself to turn back. The dog stopped suddenly at a bend, barking frantically. Its body tensed, tail stiff, ears pointed forward. Ryan parked the cruiser and stepped out, heart pounding. The animal dashed ahead, disappearing around a cluster of trees. Taking a deep breath, Ryan followed on foot. Not knowing that he was only steps away from a heartbreaking discovery, as Ryan rounded the trees, his breath caught in his throat. There, in the shade of the thicket, lay a female dog, emaciated, trembling, and barely conscious. Her coat was dull, her ribs painfully visible, and her labored breathing told a story of days without proper food or water. The loyal male rushed to her side instantly, whimpering and nudging her with his nose. He pawed at her gently, as if begging her to get up, then looked back at Ryan with pleading eyes. The officer's heart clenched at the sight. This wasn't just any discovery. This was a desperate cry for help. Ryan crouched down, speaking softly. "Hey girl, you're safe now," he whispered, though his voice cracked with emotion. He could see the faint rise and fall of her chest, each breath weaker than the last. Her paws were scratched raw, and her body carried the unmistakable marks of abandonment. The male dog pressed closer, curling around her fragile frame protectively. His loyalty was undeniable. He hadn't left her side, even as her strength faded. Ryan realized this wasn't only a rescue mission anymore. It was a test of time, and the seconds were slipping away fast. That Ryan's training kicked in, but his heart was heavy as he assessed the situation. The female dog was too weak to stand, her eyes half closed, yet they flickered open when he drew near. The male barked anxiously, pacing in circles, then pressed his nose against her as if urging her to hold on. Grabbing his radio, Ryan called for backup. "I need animal rescue at my location, immediately." His voice was firm, but his chest tightened as he watched her shallow breaths. Time wasn't on their side. He slid his jacket off and draped it over her frail body, shielding her from the cool breeze. Then, with steady hands, he lifted her gently, feeling how alarmingly light she was. The male dog whined, staying close, never letting more than a step separate them. Ryan carried her toward his cruiser, his muscles straining but his resolve unwavering. The male leapt into the back seat first, as though claiming his spot beside her. Carefully, Ryan laid her down, the loyal companion curling against her immediately. With sirens approaching in the distance, Ryan whispered, "Hold on, girl. We're not giving up on you." The wail of sirens grew louder as an animal rescue van pulled up beside Ryan's cruiser. Medics hurried over with stretchers and supplies, their expressions tightening when they saw the frail female dog. Gently, they placed her onto a padded stretcher, sliding 4 lines into place to stabilize her. The male dog refused to back away. He barked nervously, circling the stretcher, his paws scraping the ground. One rescuer tried to move him aside, but Ryan raised a hand. "Let him stay," he said firmly. "He hasn't left her once. He won't now." As the stretcher was lifted, the male leapt onto the transport bed, pressing his body against hers. His tail wagged faintly, but his eyes were filled with worry. The sight drew gasps from bystanders who had gathered nearby, their phones capturing the raw devotion of a dog unwilling to let go. Inside the van, the female whimpered weakly. The male licked her muzzle, whining softly, his presence seeming to calm her trembling. Ryan stood at the door, his chest heavy, realizing he had witnessed a kind of loyalty most humans could only dream of. It wasn't just a rescue. It was a love story written in fur and devotion. The veterinary clinic. The fight for survival began. The female dog was placed under observation, her body weakened but responsive to treatment. Fluids dripped steadily, restoring strength with every passing hour. Throughout it all, the male dog refused to leave her side. He lay pressed against the glass kennel, eyes fixed on her, as if willing her to keep fighting. Days later, the miracle came. She lifted her head, weak but determined, and wagged her tail for the first time. The room erupted with smiles. The male barked joyfully, pawing at the kennel door until he was allowed in. Their reunion was tender, soft nuzzles, gentle licks, and tails wagging in unison. Officer Ryan watched quietly, his heart swelling. What he had witnessed wasn't just survival. It was proof of unshakable love. Their bond had carried them through despair and into a second chance at life. Weeks later, the pair left the clinic stronger than ever. Their coats gleamed, their steps were steady, and their eyes shone with a new light. Everywhere they went, people stopped to admire them. The loyal male who refused to give up, and the brave female who had fought her way back to life. Officer Ryan often visited, greeted each time by wagging tails and grateful eyes. He knew he had been part of something extraordinary, a story that reminded everyone of what loyalty and love truly meant. The video of their rescue spread online, touching hearts around the world. Messages poured in from strangers who admitted the dog's devotion had restored their faith and compassion. Standing at the shelter one last time, Ryan whispered, "You saved each other. I just helped." And to you watching, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible true stories of courage and love.